With Black Clover moving to Jump Giga and a new chapter not being released until winter, I decided I'll be talking about one of my favorite fights in Black Clover. Yuno, who is blessed with mana, versus the strongest Dark Triad in my opinion, Zenon Zogratis. But before we start, our current sub goal is 500 and we only need 100 and we will finally reach our goal, and I greatly appreciate it. You guys have been killing it. Thank you so much. But I'm not gonna lie to you, the first time we see Xenon is one of the coldest moments of all of Black Clover. How he showcased how strong he really was when he evaded the Golden Dawns and defeated all of them with his bone magic and almost killing the blessed one, Yuno. Even though round 1 was a one-sided fight, Yuno will get his revenge with Xenon in his home kingdom, the Spade Kingdom. But before we start and talk about these fights, let's get to know our fighters. First up, Yuno, the one who's blessed with mana. An orphan who was left under the care of Church and Hodge, who also comes from a royal family from the Spade Kingdom, who also has the 4-leaf Grimoire and a second Grimoire, Star Magic. This man has 2 Grimoires. Talk about blessed. Yuno has a calm demeanor, especially during battle, and is very passionate of his goal of becoming the Wizard King. Yuno also has an arsenal of magic. His first one is Wind Magic. Before he received the 4th Grimoire, he was very proficient with his Wind Magic. Also has a Spirit Magic, aka Bell, who has helped him with Wind Spirit and a bunch of other moves like Spirit Dive, Spirit of Zirf, and Spirit of Boris. And finally, the blessed magic, Star Magic, that can generate stars and shoot out beams of magical light in his great defensive barrier, and teleports himself between his stars like Cole from Boruto with his claw marks. That's the best analogy I can give, the best way he can teleport, through things right now. And that's Yuno right there, the blessed one. But enough about him. Let's get to know his opponent, who is cold-blooded, Zenon Zogratis, the youngest member of the Dark Triads from the Spade Kingdom. Xenon Devil host is Beelzebub, which gives him immense power. Also, Xenon is extremely ruthless and barely speaks, and lets his power talk for him. Ooh, which I love him out of everybody, as Dark Triads, especially, his damn fraud brother, who I did a previous video with him and Magna. His goal is to make sure that Spade Kingdom is on top of other kingdoms by using the Tree of Clear and restarting humanity and having everyone return into undenying bodies. Xenon power is probably one of my favorite over Dante's and Veronica. Xenon has bone magic that can release massive tangles of bones and can lead to little room for enemies to invade. And they are sharp like spears. And it has a great, defensive mechanism where people can barely penetrate him. He also has spatial magic that creates spatial cubes and allows him to have control or neglect mana. That right there is a cold man right there, Zenon Zogratis. Now that we know our fighters, let's get to Yuno versus Xenon, part 1. In my opinion, like I said before the beginning of the show, Xenon had one of the coldest moments of all of Black Clover when he invaded the Golden Dawns and caused nothing but destruction. And I mean no one was a match for Xenon. Not even the blessed one with mana was a match. Xenon came into the Golden Dawn's hideout, activated his bone magic, and captured William with no hesitation. Didn't even break a sweat. And he walked in saying that, you guys ain't all dead yet? And then he activates his bone magic, and you just see just bones just going all over the hideout, just destroying everything in his path. And Yuno's looking, saying that there's no space to invade. We just gotta take the burden of the hit on, because there's nothing they can do. And then you see Klaus and one of the other golden members just pierced through entire body, just bleeding out. And Yuno is in utter shock right now, just seeing his Golden Dawn members get destroyed one by one, right in front of his face. That there's nothing that he can even do. Yuno loses composure and attacks Xenon head on. But Xenon's looking at him like, there's nothing you can do, man. Not even your Spirit of Zirf can do nothing to me. And Yuno is learning that he's regenerating faster than anyone. What Xenon did, I'm going to give you a little humble pie. I'm going to show you a little, not half or, 80%, a little of my devil power. He activates 55% of his power and traps Yuno in a spatial cube. Then Xenon had this sinister look on his face and hits Yuno in the coldest lines on all of Black Clover by saying, I'm simply stronger than you.
What did he say?
And this panel right here really broke the internet because we all thought, wow, Yuno is really dead because he's laying down with a sword that's shaped of a bone pierced right through his chest. And we thinking Tabata really killed Yuno, but unfortunately in Black Clover people don't tend to die. I'm not gonna talk about that. It's a conversation for another day. But Yuno was able to survive before William was captured and taken to the Spade Kingdom due to his, his tree and his healing abilities, where he was able to survive. But unfortunately, a lot of the Golden Dawn members were killed in this invasion. To me, this is one of the most coldest moments all of Black Clover when Xenon invaded the Golden Dawns. But don't worry, Yuno will get his revenge a few hundred chapters later. Everybody in the Clover Kingdom, goes to invade the Spade Kingdom to rescue Yami and William. And Yuno finally gets his revenge and he gets to the room with Xenon. And Xenon looks at him like, how are you still alive? I thought you was dead.
Surprise, motherfucker.
And Yuno looks at him and says, through the power of Captain Von's spell, I was able to survive and we're here to take him back. And then he uses one of his wind magic, and then he's saying that, I know a lot of Xenon's abilities. His bone magic is absolute defense, and it's going to get very hard to penetrate it. And then you see Xenon activate some of his power, and he's saying that this right here was another cold line right here. If you had stayed quietly at home, you could have survived a little longer. And then we get a team up in this battle with Xenon, which is, everybody thought was a weird combination. Longris. A lot of people don't like Longris because, he almost killed his brother Finral in a tournament arc, especially how one of the coldest moments is. Well, I know I'm saying a lot of coldest moments, but today is one of my favorite moments is when the Black Clover jumped right in. I think it was Asta, Magna, Luck, and I forgot who else jumped in, and they would put their swords into the power next to his necklace, like, if you move, we will kill you. And since then, Longris, has been more of a hated character in the Black Clover, but I believe the anime expanded it more with, Yuno and Longris, training together because, of his spatial magic can come key against, Xenon's bone magic. So this is right here, a great team up right here. But at the beginning when I first saw this, I'm like, Longris? What? Then we see Longris using his spatial magic, saying that I'm not the type to just to sit by and watch a guy like that on the loose. Even though he has devil power, my spatial magic can cause you some issues. Longris throws, a spatial blast at him, and Xenon's looking like, all right, I understand why you're here, because they hope you can cancel out my spatial magic. But Xenon is on a whole nother level and is able to neglect all of his power. And Xenon saying that because you have those things, you'll die without even having to take a single step. And then you just see the bones, just literally just surrounding and Longris. It just really looks so freaking badass right now. And then one of my favorite forms and Black Clover is when activates his spirit die form, Boris, and right now it's just saying that he is beloved by Mana, and this design looks so badass, especially with that axe. Oh my god, with this happen right here, I loved it. And then right now uses his axe and is able to penetrate through Xenon's bone magic, and Xenon right now he's like, oh shit, what the hell is going on right now? Then says his cold line back to Xenon. He's saying that we'll die without even making a single step. You said, what did you say? And he's able to penetrate through the bones and leave a gashing hole in Xenon's chest. And says, you were talking to the wrong guy. That right there was a cold line. I'm like, let's go, baby. Finally defeated Xenon. Unfortunately, Xenon's like, enough's enough. I'm going to use 100% of my power. And that design was cold. It's about to, like I always say, I'm going to sound like a breaker record. He easily has the best character designs in all of Shonen, of the new gen. And then right now we see that, saying that Longris, buy me 3 minutes and I'll end this with my next attack. But I have to build up my magic, and it's going to take all the power I have. Just try to survive, because we need this to defeat Xenon. Xenon right now, his power is on a whole nother level. He is using 100% of his bone magic. Along with saying that inside Xenon's absolute spatial monodomation, most people cannot use magic. Are those the same people the level of magic as him? The likes of Yuno, who are loved by mana, thirst can't escape its control. And they see Longris using spatial mage power, who can achieve mana zone, and is right now is invading all the attacks that's coming from Xenon. And this right here, like Xenon just throwing everything he can at Longris, just trying to kill him right now, but he's able to invade it due to his spatial magic. Longris is able to hold off Xenon for to activate his wind spirit creation magic, Spirit of Urus. Right now is a badass arrow right now, and he shoots it right through Xenon's chest and is able to defeat Xenon. But Xenon is talking to Beelzebub and saying that I will offer you my heart, anything you want from me, to give me all your power. As of right now, every time Yuno defeats Xenon, Xenon gains a new power. Every time Xenon gets the upper hand on Yuno gets the upper hand. So right now they're going back and forth, unlocking each other's magic, and I love it, because right now they're going all out and they're figuring each other out, which I really enjoy as well too. And this design, like I said before, look really badass. And then gets the sensation that reminded him of the devil that they fought in the elf arc. And right now Xenon saying that, having obtained the heart of a devil, my strength is beyond overwhelming right now. I am on a whole nother level. And this fight just takes everything to a whole nother turn. As of right now, Yuno is trying to use his sword, but Xenon was able to catch him in a spatial magic cube, and just was able to hit with so many of his bone magic, taking down once again. This right here, this rematch, is a championship fight. Each person going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and I'm loving it right now. But right before Xenon was about to kill Longris, his brother pops up, Fenrir, and right now they're using spatial magic to hold off Xenon. But unfortunately, it did work for a little bit, but Xenon's on a whole nother level and was able to take down Fenrir, able to pierce Longris right through his chest. And Xenon says, even spatial magic that can erase everything cannot destroy the heart of a devil. And that right there is the weakness of Xenon, or all the devils as well too. If you hit their heart, you will defeat them. And then Yuno's looking at utter despair right now, saying that shit, they both got defeated and there's nothing I can do. Everything I'm trying to do so far is not working. What else can I possibly do to defeat Xenon? And Xenon's just looking at that cold, sinister look again, looking at him, saying that I have won. And like I said before, once you think that Xenon has won the battle, or Yuno has won the battle, somebody comes up with a new move. And then Yuno starts thinking about everything that's happened to the Golden Dawns and thinking that there's nothing he can do. And he starts doubting himself. But then he remembers what him and Asta said to each other. We vowed together to become the Wizard King. And, I need to do this. Like, every time he thinks about Asta, he gets up and, has the extra motivation. The same thing with Asta as well, too. When Asta's going down, he thinks about Yuno, and he gets back up as well, too. And he's saying that, I am you, but you also have your own power. And Yuno's has a second Grimoire. And it starts developing next to him, and it's called Star Magic, the child of the royal family. And Belle says that, I think I finally met the real Yuno. Mind you, we haven't seen nobody in the entire Black Clover with 2 Grimoires, but we see the man who's blessed with mana with 2 Grimoires. That right there is so cold. And he activates one of the Star Magic, and it just goes right through Xenon's eye. And I'm like, oh my god, we finally made it this far. And right now we're finally making some damage to 100% of Xenon. And he's saying that with this power, I will defeat everybody and become the Wizard King. And you just see Star just hovering all over Yuno right now. Just looks so freaking badass, and that panel looks so freaking good. As of right now, they're going back and forth, and one thing about Yuno's doing, he's able to teleport to the stars and able to do some damage to Xenon. And you just see him able to just destroy half of his chest, just really just blown off. And saying that the choices I made were right, and I'm going to prove to you that I will save the captain, save everybody, and I'll be this country's salvation. And after that, I'll become the Wizard King. And then right now we see a final clash with each other's swords, saying that I will be the one who will defeat you. And this right here, we're going into round 12. Like I said before, they're going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then you see, use heavily magic extinction, spirit, Ouroboros, which is like a giant, like a blast, just hitting, just really destroying everything in his body. And Xenon saying that I erase all of his stars. It's no longer possible for him to teleport or defend. He has no way to destroy a devil's heart. Saying that Saint stage is on an annoyance rate between the spirit and their host is near 100%. By continuing to fight on the verge of death, has officially achieved that state. And he's finally going for that final slash, Spirit Saint Azereth, and he slashes Xenon's heart in half, and he finally got the victory. Boy, finally destroyed Xenon. To me, easily one of the best fights in the Spade Kingdom arc. I can probably put it maybe on 1A, 1B with the Magna versus Dante fight, and then versus Xenon fight. Those fights there was classic moments. And like I said before, each time took down Xenon came back up. Every time Xenon took down Yuno came back up. And to me, that was a great fight. It's about when each opponent comes back up and goes even harder.
What? Bro, I'm out, man.
Like, whoa. But comment below, guys. Let me know what you guys think about the Yuno versus Xenon fight. Do you say it was one of the best fights in the Spade Kingdom arc? Before we end this, guys, our current sub goal is 500, and we're literally almost 100 subs away from literally 500. You guys have been killing it. Greatly appreciate it. And the next fight I'll be covering will be Asta and Yuno versus Licht from the Elf arc, which is probably the best fight in all Black Clover. Because I'm trying to do a fight each month, just to give you guys some Black Clover content until we get new manga chapters. But until then, surpass your limits.